Welcome everybody. Today we're going to do a sweat and stretch yoga class, and we get to be in the beautiful outdoors. This is Independence Day, so celebrate our freedom a little bit and go within and center ourselves and think about how truly, hopefully lucky that we are as we move through our class today. So sweat and stretch, we have the first about half an hour of power yoga, building that fire, moving our body, and then the second half is we're going to slow it down, go a little deeper into stretches, really lengthening those muscles and taking some time to breathe, come back to center. And that's our class today. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off right away in child's pose. So you're going to come to your mat, knees out wide. Walking your arms straight out in front of you, bringing your forehead right to the mat, big toes touching, and trying to sit back on your heels. And if you can't sit back on them all the way, completely fine. Go wherever is going to make you comfortable and be ready to go within as we begin our class. And as we take some cleansing breaths in our child's pose, you may hear some background noises. And just as you're thinking about, moving through your poses, or even just thinking about nothing, you may hear some noises that may be considered distracting. And I challenge you, just can you move past them? Can you let them in? And then say, yep, that's a sound, and then just let it go. We're outside, we're enjoying the beautiful sounds of nature, and sometimes cars or other things come right along with it. Let them in and then let them go. Let's take a deep breath in together and a deeper breath out your mouth. Deep breath in and breath out. Bring your breath right back to however you call your own, and take 2 more breaths just here on your own, relaxing in your child's pose. If you'd like to set an intention for your practice, now is a great time to do that. And when you're ready, go ahead and meet me in your tabletop pose. Hands about shoulder width apart, knees, hips distance, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, and just having a nice flat back here. And once you're here, you're going to leave your hips and legs where they are and just walk your hands out in front of you into your extended puppy pose. Really getting a nice stretch here, opening those shoulders, dropping your forehead to the mat if you can. Taking some nice breaths here as we open up our chest and our shoulders and our hearts today. If you like the sounds of motorcycles, then this class is going to be nice and soothing for you. I think we're going to have lots of them driving by today. Go ahead and push off your hands a little bit and then leave your right forearm, or the bottom of it, and your right elbow right on your mat. And then you're going to twist open, reaching your left hand high to the sky, getting a nice twist. Nice opening of your shoulders, trying to keep your hips square to your mat as you breathe. And on your inhale, trying to really lengthen that spine, and exhale, twisting open. I have so much gratitude to be able to be outside for this class today and looking up in this twist, looking at the beautiful clouds, blue sky. Oh, it's just incredible, really. If you can practice outside at some point, especially on a beautiful day like today, take that opportunity. All right, go ahead and switch sides. Bring your left elbow down to the mat and twisting open right arm up to the sky. And I know for me, when I'm here, my right hip tends to want to push out that way. But if you bring it back centered, you'll get more of a twist in your upper body. One more breath here. And bring both forearms down. Meet me back in your tabletop pose. We're gonna do a few cats and cows just at your own breath. So go ahead, once you're back at your tabletop, inhale, look up, arch your back, cow pose. And exhale, round cat pose. Looking between your knees, maybe turning your gaze to your toes. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. And then just go ahead and do 2 more at your own pace. Awakening your spine. And then once you're back in your tabletop pose, you can just move your spine around any way you like. Maybe left and right, bending into your elbows a little bit. Whatever feels good. Get some mobility in that spine. And then when you're ready, you're going to walk your hands forward a little bit and meet me in your downward facing dog. And again, once you're here, we're waking up the body. You can walk out your dog. Bend into your left knee, bend into your right knee. Maybe move your hips from side to side, getting a nice side stretch. And then once you feel like you've moved around a little bit, maybe moved your neck around, moved your head back and forth, go ahead and find some stillness. And we're going to take a moment. Just close your eyes and come back to that intention that you set just a few minutes ago. Think about how we can move through our practice, honoring that intention as we take in the beautiful sounds and sights of nature around us today. Go ahead and open up your eyes when you're ready. Lift your right leg high. Bend your knee. Open your hips. Stack them one on top of each other as you try to keep your both shoulders square to the mat. Try to see if you can lift that right knee up a little higher and step forward, low lunge. So really placing that right foot directly next to, or some people will even replace their right foot with their right hand. Keeping that back leg nice and strong, opening up those hips, trying to reach your chest forward. And plant your hands, step back, 3-legged dog, right leg high. Again, bend, stack, open those hips. Put your right leg down, downward facing dog. Left leg high. Bend, stack, open those hips. Nice, strong right leg. Arms extending. Try to lift your knee a little bit higher. Step forward, low lunge on your left. Strong back leg. Left knee is pretty much right over that left ankle. reaching our hearts forward. One more breath here. And plant your hands, three-legged dog. Bend, stack, open those hips. And place your left foot down, downward facing dog. Inhale onto your toes. Exhale, bend your knees. Walk to the top of your mat. Forward fold. Halfway lift, hands on your shins, flat back. Gaze down a little bit in front of you. Fold. Let everything go. Drop that head. Release that tension. Inhale, reach and rise all the way up. Reach toward the sky, active fingers, and fold all the way down. Halfway lift. Plant your hands, step back to high plank. Shift forward over your wrists. Lower down chaturanga. You always have the option to drop to your knees here. Flip to the top of your toes, tops of your feet, upward facing dog or cobra, like I'm doing here, keeping my legs on the ground, slight bend in my elbows, and pushing back, downward facing dog. Inhale on your toes. Exhale, bend your knees. 2 steps to the top of your mat. Halfway lift. Fold. Reach, rise all the way up. Bend back on an exhale. Reach back, bending your elbows, looking back and up. Inhale, come back to center. Then bring your hands together. You can steeple grip your hands like this, or just bring them to prayer. And go ahead and inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, lean over to the right. Getting that nice opening on their left side of your body. Trying to keep your arms straight and biceps by your ears if you can. Maybe looking up a little bit. Inhale. And exhale, come back to center, reach up and over to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale, lean back. Inhale, center. And exhale, fold. Halfway lift. Plant your hands, jump back to high plank. Lower down chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg high. Step forward, crescent lunge on the right, lifting all the way up, reaching high to the sky, maybe looking up, trying to drop those shoulders down your back, leaving plenty of space for your ears. Open up, warrior 2. Arms are reaching forward and back, right knee right over your ankle. Left foot about 90 degrees. You can always look down and check too. I'm constantly checking when I'm in these poses. You know, how's my form? Doing a quick check-in. Because sometimes how we feel it looks isn't always exactly how it looks. So it's good to do some checks here. Flip that right palm, facing the sky, lean back, reverse warrior. Bring it forward, side angle, right arm to your to your thigh, left arm reaching up. Again, really trying to reach up and grow as tall as you can. Good, come back to warrior 2, reverse warrior, and bring it all the way down. Chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Once you get there, left leg high, step it forward, crescent lunge on the left. Take a breath here. One more inhale. Open up, warrior 2. Again, quick check on your form, seeing how we're doing here, seeing how we're feeling. Flip that front palm, reverse warrior. Bring it forward, side angle. Right arm reaches up high to the sky as your left forearm rests. And sometimes I even actively will press a little bit against my inner thigh just to open my hips a little bit more. Inhale. Exhale, back to warrior two. Inhale. Exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale, and then exhale all the way down. Chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. We're starting to get some movement going on here. Once you're in your downward facing dog, inhale onto your toes. Exhale, bend your knees. Jump or step to the top of your mat. I think we got some fireworks going on over there. Halfway lift. Fold. Inhale, chair pose all the way up. Bring your hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale, twist right. Left elbow on your right thigh, outside of your right thigh. Take one more breath here. Open your arms. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Come back to center, chair pose. See if you can stay here. Bring your hands to heart center and twist left. Right elbow to the outside of your left thigh. Take an inhale. Exhale, open your arms, reaching right hand toward the ground, left hand to the sky. One more breath in. Exhale, come back to center, chair pose, and fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Once you are here, take a breath. Close your eyes. And let's take a moment to listen to our nature sounds. Go ahead and open your eyes when you're ready. Inhale, right leg high. Bend, stack, open those hips. And step forward. You're going to step into warrior one all the way up. Back foot is about 45 degrees. Reaching high. Bring it down, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left leg high. Bend, stack, open those hips. Step forward, warrior one on your left. Coming all the way up, reaching high. Trying to get your left knee over your left ankle. Bring it on down, chaturanga. Up dog, and meet me in down dog. Inhale on your toes. Exhale, bend your knees. Jump. Halfway lift. And fold. Halfway lift. Fold one more time. You're going to go ahead and grab your right ankle. Bring your left hand to your hip. Bring your left ankle up with you your right ankle up with you to tree pose. So you're in your tree pose. You can bring your foot above your knee up here. And if you do this, I do find that if it's hard to have your foot stay, try to turn so that your heel is almost forward a little bit more. So you're bringing your heel toward the front of your leg a little bit more instead of in the back so it doesn't slip as much. Or if this is not comfortable for you, just bringing your foot right below on the side of your leg on your shin, or even if you just place your toes on the ground and then have your foot like this. However you're gonna balance that is best for you. Let's go there. And then for this side, just doing whatever you'd like for your hands. Whether you want to come back to center, bringing your hands at your heart, or even to your third eye. If you'd like to grow your tree and reach up, do what's going to help you to find your balance and to make space for your yoga practice today, or for whatever it is that you need. Take one more breath here. Bring your knee to the center. Lift it up. Reach it forward. Try to reach it a little bit higher. Hold here. And eagle pose. So you can bring your right leg over, trying to tuck those right toes behind the left calf. And if you can't do that, completely fine. You just cross it over and just try to bring your foot as close to your calf as you can. Okay, so whether you're crossing over, if you need a little bit more stability, maybe again, like we did with tree pose, planting those toes right on the ground, and then coming down here. Your right leg is over, so you're gonna bring your right arm underneath, cross it under, and bring your hands together in prayer if you can. If not, just getting to wherever you are comfortable. Once you are here, try to bring your hands away from your face, tall spine, and then like you're sitting back in your chair. So like we're in chair pose, except we have these nice little binds for our arms and our legs. Feeling some fire really burning in that left leg. Shoulders are reaching apart from each other, the shoulder blades. Inhale, release all of your binds. Bring your right knee up. Extend that right leg as long as you can. Bring it forward all the way into warrior three. So warrior three, we're trying to make a T pretty much, our capital T going on, where we have our upper body, our hands, and our right foot at this point reaching forward and back, trying to become parallel with the ground. As we ground into the ground with our left foot, we're grounding down to reach here, to really find that balance. Gently bend into that left leg, that left knee, step back very gently, crescent lunge on your left, reach high, bring it on down, chaturanga. Up dog, and meet me in your downward facing dog. Take a couple breaths here. A few more minutes here working through some power yoga, getting some movement in our bodies before we slow it down, get some extra stretching into our muscles that will be nice and warmed up by then. Inhale on your toes. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward, and jump. Halfway lift. Fold. One more halfway lift. And fold all the way down, really relaxing that head, extending it down, getting a nice stretch on the back of your neck. And when you're ready, grabbing hold of that left ankle, bringing your right hand to your hip, and then slowly rising up into your tree pose, however is best for you to get there. Just being cautious not to put your full weight right on that knee joint. You're either above the knee joint or you're below. And then this time I like to do something a little different on the other side. So the last time, if you brought your hands to heart center, maybe you try to lift them up a little bit. Maybe you extend them high. If you extended your hands high last time, maybe you find a bind behind you and get a little extra shoulder stretch here. Or maybe, which I'm still practicing, but maybe you bring your hands to prayer behind you in a little something like that, except you make a prayer with your hands. It's all about, oh, nice. We have some people in class who can do that. I'm still practicing. And that's what yoga is all about, right? We're not going to be able to do every pose perfectly the first time. And that's what's really awesome, which I love about yoga, is that not everybody's perfect pose looks exactly the same. You know, there's some ways to get safely into poses and things like that. But when we break it down, everybody's bodies are built so differently, which is amazing. And because of that, everybody's perfect pose is going to look different than somebody else's. That's why we try to give lots of options in class. All right, if you gave yourself a bind with your hands, you can just release that. Bring your knee out in front of you, extending it long forward. Reach up and cross it over, eagle pose on the left, or I should say standing on the right, crossing your left leg over, putting your left arm under, crossing over. So now we have our double bind, one with our legs, one with our arms. And then once we're here, it's almost like you could have a wall behind you and that your back is resting on the wall. So you're trying to keep your chest nice and tall as you're sitting back in your eagle chair, we'll call it, and trying to balance at the same time. This pose is very versatile because it takes balance, it takes strength and flexibility. And again, lifting those elbows high, but not bringing your shoulders up with them. Just dropping those. All right, inhale, release everything, but bring your left knee up high. Reach your left leg forward and head into your warrior three. Extending arms forward. Chest is parallel with the ground. Trying to keep your hips square as well to the ground. And really reaching those arms forward, reaching that leg back, flexing that back foot, using your right foot to really root into the ground, find your balance and keep it. Very slowly bend into that right knee, step back, crescent lunge, reach up, one breath here. Exhale, chaturanga, bring it on down. However you want to get there, go ahead and meet me in your downward facing dog. Go ahead and walk your hands to the back of your mat. Take a moment where you just spread your feet out wide. Grab your two peace fingers, your pointer finger and your middle finger. Hook them on your big toes. Inhale, halfway lift while you keep your toes held. And exhale, fold. You can bring your elbows out to the side. You can bend into your knees. Just take a moment in this fold. You earned it. And maybe taking in some of the sounds that you may be able to hear in the background. Whether it's in my class or wherever it is that you're practicing. Taking some time to breathe. release your toes, toe heel your feet together so your big toes touch, slight gap in your heels. Hang out in this fold for one more breath. Inhale and exhale. Halfway lift, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up and sit right back in your chair. We're gonna keep our arms where they are, but we're gonna lift, while we stay in our chair pose, lift up your right foot. Trying to lift your knee up as high as you can while you keep your left leg bent and cross it over like you have eagle legs. And uncross, sink down into your chair. Left knee high, cross it over, eagle legs. Bring it back forward, left knee high. Let's do 3 more of those together. Right knee high, cross it, eagle legs. Uncross, knee high, chair pose. Left knee high, cross it over, eagle legs. Uncross, left knee high. We have 2 more. We got this. Right knee high, cross it over, eagle legs. Uncross, right knee high, chair pose. Left leg high, left knee, cross it. Uncross, foot down, 1 more. Keep those arms reaching. Right knee crosses, hooks behind. Sit back, lift that right knee high, step it down. Last side, left knee up, cross it over. Eagle legs, sit back, reach high, lift that left leg up, plant it down, chair pose, reach high, look up, and fold. Halfway lift, and fold. Feel free to move your body around a little bit or find some stillness. Nice job, everybody. And walk your hands forward. Come to your high plank. Just breathing. Maybe utilizing that ujjayi breath where you're breathing in and out through your nose. And making like an ocean sound as you exhale. This is our last couple minutes of our power yoga part of the class. Remembering you're in your high plank, you are always welcome to drop down to your knees at any time. Bring your forearms to the mat, stay up in your plank pose here, forearm plank. Really trying to make sure that we have our core tight. Our heels pushing back like we're a nice straight line. Using the ground to help us stay in this pose. Press up, high plank. Forearm plank. We got this, 3 more. Press up, high plank. Forearm plank. High plank. We got 2 more here. Here we go. Forearm plank. High plank. Let's do this. 1 more. Forearm plank. Let's hold it here for a minute. Not really a whole minute. Press up, high plank. Amazing job, everybody. Take a deep breath in. Slowly, very slowly, lower all the way down to the ground. Shifting forward. 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it here, and 1. Oh, relax, bring it all the way down. Drop your right cheek to the mat and just take a breath here. I'm gonna stay up like this so everyone at home doesn't Hear the lovely sounds of a microphone rubbing against the mat. But just resting on that right cheek, taking some time to breathe. Go ahead and close your eyes. Put your arms wherever they are comfortable. And congratulate yourself for working through such a vigorous practice. You did that. Absolutely amazing. We're now transitioning to our extra stretch part of our class, which honestly for some people can be even more difficult, just because it's the stretching aspect, it's the slowing down aspect, which can be really hard to do. Okay, in our society of go, 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 move, 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 before I continue, go ahead and flip your cheek. So you can rest your left cheek on the mat. Again, breathing, maybe bending your knees a little bit, windshield wiping them back and forth. But you know, we live in a society where everything is go, 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 and we get used to that. So sometimes it's hard to just take a step back and breathe and relax, but it's so important for our body to do that. We really tap into our parasympathetic nervous system, which helps us to de-stress, to calm down, and to relax. So that's what we're really going to tap into for the rest of our class today. When you are ready, you're going to bring your chin or your forehead to the mat. You're going to bring your hands right by your rib cage. Zip your legs up tight. And then just give a slight opening between your heels or between your toes. Make sure you're on the tops of your feet. And then just nice and gently push up into upward facing dog. Just taking some time here. Maybe thinking back to the beginning of our class when we did our first upward facing dog or our first cobra, and feeling the difference between right now. All right, go ahead and push back on your knees. Bring your knees out wide. Come into an extended child's pose here. Really reaching forward. Take a moment to come back to your intention. Really focusing on that today, because sometimes we may lose sight of intentions for whether our practice or something that we want in life. So we're just going to bring that to our attention at this moment. All right, shift forward onto your hands, and then you're going to come all the way down onto your belly and bring your right arm out to the side and up a little bit. So it's like you were going to do your arms in a T, except you're going to bring your right arm up a little bit, and then you're going to roll over onto your right side. You can use your left hand. Sorry about the background noise. You can use your left hand to push off as you rest your side down on your mat. You can even rest your arm or your head on the mat if you'd like, and trying to step back with that left foot. Getting a nice shoulder stretch here. Side as well. Step all the way back, that's okay. If you have a yoga block or even a pillow or something like that, you can always put it behind you and then put your foot on that, just as a little bit of extra leverage. You're able to relax into this pose just a little bit more. Which I don't have mine outside with me, but if I did, I would use it. This nice shoulder stretch, a little bit of a twist here. Working through. Open now, just gonna switch to the other side. And for this side, if you want, you can almost make like a half cactus or a half goalpost with your left arm and lean back that way. Just make sure that your elbow is lifted up a little bit higher than 90 degrees. You don't want it below 90 degrees for sure. You lift it up a little bit higher and see how that feels. So if you did something a little different on the other side, see how this feels with your arm bent a little bit. And if you feel like that feels better, great. If not, you can extend your left arm out a little bit more if you like, so it's more of a T, but then up a little bit higher. So see what feels better for you, and then just do that. And for me, this side I find I have a little more opening. I can step my right foot back compared to the other side where I felt like I wasn't even close. And that's also what's awesome about yoga, is you're going to find these differences in your body, and then you just say, okay. Because everybody has things that they are maybe a little better at, whether it's stretching or the power yoga aspect of it, being stronger. And that's something to celebrate. So if you find yourself maybe not able to go quite as far on this side, or you're going a little bit, farther on this side or a little bit less, then that's okay. Totally expected. Go ahead and come back to center. You're going to push up and back, and we're going to go into our half pigeon pose. You can also do figure 4. So if we like to do one seated, we're going to bring our right ankle forward, or right foot forward first. So you can cross your right ankle over your left thigh. And then just making sure you have a nice tall spine. You can do it this way. Or you can, I know, Bird, exactly. Or you can recline back and take as well. Lift, get a little stretch to a half pigeon. We got some fireworks, 4th of July, Independence Day, or you can come into your half pigeon pose here. Right foot forward. You can stay up here, or you can recline all the way down. Wherever you are, just making sure that your right foot is flexed and that you're breathing. And then close your eyes. Breathing into the sensation here. If you're in your half pigeon, go ahead and walk your hands back. We're going to switch to the other side. So whether you're in figure 4, reclined figure 4, or half pigeon, you're just going to release that stretch. Do whatever you like to get your hips feeling open and released. And then you're going to go right to the other side, however you'd like to get there. Just remembering to keep that left foot flexed. And if you're going to go into your sleeping pigeon where you recline down, really find your half pigeon up first to where you're in a comfortable position with your right leg extended back, and then walking your hands forward and breathing into that sensation. All right, as I always say, no pain here, no pinching, no numbness or anything. But if you feel that sensation, especially right over here is where I feel it, and you may feel it in other places as well. Okay, maybe a little over here. sending your breath there. It's almost like you can visualize sending your breath to that spot, maybe finding a little bit more opening as you breathe into this pose. And whenever you're ready, take one more breath in and breathe out. Walk your hands back underneath your shoulders or release that foot. Maybe moving your hips around a little bit. Releasing that stretch. Nice. And then once you're ready, you're going to come to a seat on your mat. We're going to come into butterfly pose. So we are going to try to find a flat enough space to do this as well. Sometimes what really helps is if you have a little pillow or a little blanket, putting that right underneath your seat will help you to lengthen your spine a little bit more. So that's one of our goals for this pose, is to lengthen our spine, bring the soles of your feet together, they're touching. You can grab your toes like this, or you can grab onto your ankles and use your elbows just to gently press your knees away. Or what you can do as well is you can walk your feet out a little bit more away from you. And then you can just gently hold onto your toes or your shins or wherever is comfortable. Lengthen your spine and then lean forward a bit. Okay, if you want to extend down a little further, feel free to do so. Just try to keep a little length in that spine as we breathe into this pose as well. Dropping all thoughts. I really like to circle out my neck in a pose like this. Doing some half circles left and right. And then you can come back to center and then do some half circles left and right, but looking up. Just moving that neck around, giving it a little love. Sometimes we forget about our neck, and it does a lot for us, right? Showing it some love. All right, if you walked your hands forward or bent over into a bit of a fold, you can sit up tall and then bring your right leg out, bring your left foot in till it touches or almost touches the inside of your thigh. And we're gonna keep our chest tall. We're gonna reach up and then turn and then reach over, trying to grab onto those toes or your foot or your shin, your knee, your thigh, wherever you can reach today. Try to grab that. Just trying to reach with both hands at the same spot. So we don't necessarily want to do something like this right now. Just trying to really almost do a little bit of a twist as you're reaching forward as well. And drop your head a little bit just to release the tension. again, walk your hands back up your leg. Reach up high. Bring both feet touching right in front of you. Lift up and fold over. Trying to keep a flat back for as long as you can as you reach, and then fold. If you can reach your toes, sometimes grabbing the outsides of your feet feels good. It almost gives a little bit of a rotation or a little bit of a flattening of your feet. You can do that. You can grab your big toes, ankles, shins, again, wherever you want to grab, wherever is accessible to you. And maybe inhaling and lengthening that spine, and exhaling, going down a little bit deeper. And then just release your toes, but stay in a forward fold, and go ahead and round your back and just let everything go. Okay, just breathing, dropping your head, not worrying about form. Just taking some breaths here as we sit in our forward fold. Bring your attention to your breath. When you inhale, try to see if you can make your belly blow up like a balloon. And then when you exhale, you just let it all go. Inhale, walk your hands back, tall spine, reach up. Extend that left leg out, right foot in. Again, sitting up nice and tall. And then turning your torso toward your left leg, and then reaching forward, bringing both hands wherever they reach. Thigh, knee, shin, foot, wherever you can bring them. Maybe interlacing your fingers if you grab onto your feet or your foot. And then let's inhale to a flat back. And then exhale, fold. And again, maybe recognizing that this side feels a little different than the right side. Just recognizing it. Nothing to do with it, just saying, interesting. Take one more breath here. Exhale, walk your hands back up your leg. Sit up tall. You can reach your legs in front of you. And then bring your hands one on each side of you and meet me on your back whenever you're ready. We're going to come to a long body stretch here. Arms overhead. Legs reaching away from those hands. You're both stretching. And exhale, release. Bring your knees up to 90 degrees. I should say your shins to 90 degrees. Knees facing toward the sky. Arms out at a T. Reaching those knees up when you're ready, and then go ahead and drop your both knees over to the right. You can turn your gaze to the left. If you would like a little bit more, you can even bring that left leg over a little bit more, maybe even straightening it, and using that right arm to even hold on to your left leg, trying to open up that twist just a little bit more. And if you brought your arm over to your knee, you can put that right back out at a T. Lift your knees up right back to center and drop them over to the left. Again, turning your gaze to the right, maybe using your left hand as a little leverage, or even straightening that right leg to get a little bit more twist if you choose. Taking in all the sounds of nature or mankind as we relax in this nice twist. Breathe in and breathe out. Send your breath all the way down your spine. Breathe in, bring both knees back to center, left arm out to the T. And then if you like to do any last movements before we go into our Shavasana, do anything that's going to feel good to you. Help you feel balanced and ready for this rest. And then whenever you feel ready, just lying on your back and setting up for Shavasana. Legs out wide, letting those toes fall open, palms facing up, and finding a comfortable position as we take this much needed time in Shavasana pose. Taking in the sounds of nature, taking in the sounds that we hear wherever you are during this class today. Shavasana. Start to come back to your space. Take a deep breath in and a deeper breath out. Start to move your body to awaken your senses as we come back into whatever space you're in, practicing your yoga today. And whenever you're ready, bring both knees all the way into your chest, giving them a big squeeze, showing yourself some appreciation for practicing yoga today or anything else that you would like to show appreciation for. And then whenever you're ready, rolling onto your right side, just taking a moment, resting your forehead on your mat or using your arm as a little pillow as you breathe and take in the sounds around you. And whenever you're ready, coming to a comfortable seat on your mat. Bringing your hands to heart center. Taking a moment to reflect back on that intention you set at the beginning of class. Did you honor your intention throughout class? Are you going to continue honoring it today? Or are you moving on from it? Take a deep breath in and a deeper breath out, closing your eyes if they're not already closed. Bringing your prayer to forehead center, your third eye. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Enjoy the beauty of today. I hope you enjoyed our outdoor class. Namaste.